A single container can produce an impressive harvest of sweet potatoes, even in a small outdoor space. These warm-loving plants are surprisingly easy to grow. Give them plenty of sunlight, enough space, and loose, well-drained soil, and their sprawling vines can reward you with a crop of sweet, homegrown tubers. Start with a large container. For one plant, aim for at least 10 gallons, with roughly 18 inches of width and depth. Make sure it has plenty of drainage holes, because sweet potatoes need moisture, but hate sitting in water. Sweet potatoes aren't grown from seeds, they're grown from slips, which are sprouts taken from a sweet potato. You can buy rooted slips or make your own. Place a sweet potato in water, or partly bury it in moist potting mix. Keep it warm, and wait for shoots to develop. Once the shoots are several inches long, twist or cut them away, and root them in water until they develop roots. The growing medium should be loose, fertile, and well drained. Avoid heavy garden soil that can become compacted inside a container. A good quality potting mix with some compost works well, giving the developing tubers room to expand without becoming waterlogged. Fill the container almost to the top, then plant one strong rooted slip about 4 to 6 inches deep. Cover the roots and part of the stem, but keep the leaves above the surface. If you're using a larger container, you can plant additional slips, but give each plant plenty of room. Place the container somewhere warm with at least 6 to 8 hours of direct sunlight. Sweet potatoes love heat, so don't rush them outside while nights are still cold. They grow best once the weather and soil are properly warm. For the first week or two, keep the soil consistently moist while the slip establishes itself. After that, water deeply when the mix begins to dry, rather than giving it tiny amounts every day. Don't keep the container constantly saturated, because good drainage is just as important as regular moisture. As the plant grows, the vines will spread quickly. You can let them trail over the edge of the container, guide them across a balcony railing, or simply give them space to sprawl. Avoid repeatedly disturbing the vines, because they can develop roots along the stems and put energy into those instead of the main tubers. Sweet potatoes don't need excessive fertilizer. Too much nitrogen can encourage a huge amount of leafy growth without giving you the best tuber production. If the potting mix is already fertile, a light feeding during the growing season is usually enough. Keep an eye on the container during hot weather. Large pots can dry out surprisingly quickly, especially in full sun. Check the soil with your finger and water thoroughly when the upper layer starts to dry. After roughly 3 to 5 months, start watching the leaves. As the season ends, the foliage may begin turning yellow and dying back. That's a good signal to check whether the tubers are ready. You can also harvest a little earlier if the roots have reached a size you like. When you're ready to harvest, stop watering for a short period if the soil is already moist, then carefully loosen the mix around the plant. With containers, the easiest method is often to tip the whole thing onto a tarp and gently search through the soil by hand. Take your time because sweet potatoes bruise easily. After harvesting, don't rush straight into cooking them. Freshly harvested sweet potatoes benefit from curing in a warm, humid place for several days, which improves their sweetness and helps toughen the skin for storage. That's really all it takes. Start with healthy slips. Use a large container. Give the roots loose soil, keep them warm and sunny, water consistently, and let the vines grow. Do that, and even one container can give you a surprisingly satisfying harvest of homegrown sweet potatoes.